Ladies and gentlemen, collectors, treasure seekers, and history lovers, prepare yourselves. What you are about to see is not just about coins, it is about hidden treasures that most people pass by without even noticing. Right now, sitting in pockets, drawers, and forgotten jars across America are tiny pieces of history worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but enough to change your life overnight. Welcome to Rare U.S. Coin Secrets. And today, I'm taking you deep into the mysterious world of Monticello nickels. Coins that might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but in reality, they hold the power of a golden fortune. These are the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Monticello 5 cents ever discovered in today's auction market. Each one is like a time capsule of American history, each one hiding a staggering value that shocks even expert collectors. Now, listen carefully. Do not skip. Do not blink. Because as we reveal these coins one by one, you may realize that somewhere in your own collection, or maybe even in your loose change, you could be sitting on a treasure chest worth more than a mansion. And today we begin with a coin that hides in plain sight, a coin born in 1954, but unlike its brothers and sisters, this one carries a twist that makes it breathtakingly rare. Coin number 1. The year was 1954. America was booming with post-war growth. Elvis Presley was about to change music forever, and on the streets, people jingled their pockets with nickels that seemed so ordinary. No one could imagine their hidden destiny. But among those millions of Jefferson nickels, minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark, there exists a version so scarce, so exceptional, that it has become the crown jewel of collectors. This is the Monticello 5 cents of 1954, without a mint mark. Let's peel back the story. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlegel, it features the proud profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and his legendary home, Monticello, standing in classical beauty on the reverse. But here's where the story takes a twist. In 1954, minting errors, production quirks, and survival rates collided, creating a situation where nickels without mint marks in high-grade condition became incredibly rare. Most were spent, tossed around, and worn out in circulation. But the few that survived in very fine or better condition became whispers of legend in the coin world. What makes this coin so unique? It's not just the absence of a mint mark. It's the combination of history, condition, and sheer rarity. Collectors crave it because it represents a disappearing chapter of U.S. minting. Every detail from Jefferson's jawline to the delicate pillars of Monticello on the reverse must survive the wear of time. And finding one today intact is like finding a diamond in a sea of pebbles. Now let's talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint struck plenty of nickels, yes. But over decades, circulation destroyed most. Only a fraction remain in the very fine condition that serious collectors demand. And here's the truth. When rarity and demand collide, the value doesn't just rise, it explodes. And today, in the live auction market, this very coin, the Monticello 1954 without mint mark, in very fine condition, is commanding an absolutely staggering value. I'm not talking about pocket change, not hundreds, not even thousands. Ladies and gentlemen, its current market value has reached an unbelievable $142,500. That's right, one single nickel, once worth only 5 cents, has transformed into a treasure chest of fortune. Owning it is like holding a piece of American history dipped in pure gold. And here's the shocking truth. The value of this coin isn't standing still. It is increasing day by day. Collectors are in a frenzy. Auctions are heating up. And every time one surfaces, the price leaps higher. Wait a little longer, and its worth will climb even further. Don't take this as a story or fiction. I'm telling you a truth backed by today's markets. If you hold one, you don't just have a coin. You have a treasure that puts you among the elite of collectors. Now, tips for the collectors watching. When searching for the 1954 Monticello nickel without a mint mark, always examine the condition carefully. Look for sharp detail in Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns. Avoid coins with heavy scratches, corrosion, or cleaning marks, because the better the condition, the more astronomical the value. Professional grading is essential. A certified coin, especially one that achieves a very fine or higher grade, can be the difference between a fortune and just another nickel. And remember, every collector dreams of discovering such a piece, but few will ever hold it. If you find one, protect it like your own heartbeat. Because in the world of numismatics, this isn't just a coin. This is a golden ticket to legacy, wealth, and history. Friends, this is just the beginning. This was coin number 1, and already we're talking about life-changing money. The coins that follow in this list are even more jaw-dropping, even more shocking, and even more impossible to believe. So stay locked in, stay excited, because what comes next will leave you speechless. And remember, you are watching Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the most trusted and faithful channel for daily updates on coins that can change your life forever. We bring you the truth, the facts, and the treasures hiding in plain sight. Stay with me because the journey has just begun. Coin number 2. Now that we've uncovered the legendary 1954 no mint mark nickel, let's leap forward in time 4 decades ahead into the mid-1990s. You might be thinking, 1994? That's not old enough to be rare, right? But my friends, this is exactly where so many people go wrong. Because sometimes the most shocking treasures are hidden in the places you least expect. Picture it, 1994. Bill Clinton is in the White House, the internet is slowly creeping into American homes, and millions of Jefferson nickels are pouring out of the U.S. Mint. People are using them daily for parking meters, vending machines, and payphones. Nothing special, right? But hiding in that flood of 1994 nickels was a very small handful struck in Denver, carrying the little D mint mark, and destined to become one of the most sought-after rarities in the modern Monticello series. Why? Because fate decided to leave its fingerprint. Many of these 1994 D nickels came out of the presses with unusual brown spotting, tiny imperfections caused by environmental factors, striking anomalies, and the unpredictable chemistry of the coin's nickel and copper composition. Now, normally discoloration might lower the value of a coin, but in this rare case, these natural brown spots became a marker of uniqueness, a feature that turned ordinary circulation coins into numismatic marvels. Let's talk history and composition. Like all Jefferson nickels since 1938, the 1994 D is made from an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The obverse proudly carries Jefferson's portrait, while Monticello, with its neoclassical columns, graces the reverse. But when you add the Denver mint mark and the striking irregularities that cause those rare brown spots, you suddenly have a combination that collectors crave: history, beauty, and a story unlike any other. And this is where rarity steps into the spotlight. Out of the millions minted in Denver, very few have survived in fine condition with those telltale brown spots still intact. Think about it. Coins circulate, get scratched, polished, or completely worn down. But the few survivors that remain in stable, collectible condition are so scarce that they've become a hot topic in the coin world. Collectors demand them, auction houses highlight them, and each time one crosses the block, the hammer price rises higher than before. The blend of condition, mint mark, and spotting has created a frenzy of competition that shows no sign of slowing down. And here's the suspense you've been waiting for. This coin, the 1994D Monticello nickel with brown spots and fine condition, is no ordinary find. In today's auction market, its current value has skyrocketed to $58,500. Yes, you heard me right. A coin that most people would overlook, spend without thinking, or even toss aside for its unusual spots, has now become a treasure chest in your hand. Owning this nickel means you are holding not just a piece of pocket change, but a life-altering fortune in the form of a small, shining disc. And remember this, the market for coins like these is alive, breathing, and growing. Every month, every year, the demand grows stronger, the prices rise higher, and the chase becomes more intense. This coin is not just valuable today, it is becoming more valuable with each passing sunrise. Now, a tip for collectors. If you're hunting for the 1994 D, always pay close attention to spotting. Many nickels from the 90s have ordinary wear, but the genuine rarities carry natural, distinct brown spots that experts can authenticate. Don't make the mistake of cleaning or polishing. Those spots are part of the treasure's identity. Preserve them, protect them, and if possible, submit the coin for professional grading. A certified coin in fine or higher condition doesn't just hold its value, it explodes in worth when it enters the auction stage. And here's the conclusion, friends. This is why we chase coins. This is why we look closely at every nickel, every dime, every cent. Because somewhere out there, hidden in what seems ordinary, is a treasure waiting to be discovered. And the 1994 Monticello nickel proves that even in modern times, history still leaves us riches beyond imagination. So ask yourself, how many 1994 nickels have you overlooked? How many have slipped through your hands without a second glance? Could you already have missed a fortune? Stay tuned, because if you thought this was shocking, the next coins on our list will absolutely shake you to your core. We are only getting started. And remember, you're watching Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the faithful, trusted channel that delivers daily updates on the treasures hidden in your pocket change. Don't doubt it, don't dismiss it, because the truth is right here. And the next reveal is even more unbelievable. Coin number 3. Now, friends, we journey back into one of the most fascinating chapters in American coin history. We leave the 1990s behind and step into the turbulent, transformative era of the 1960s, a time of civil rights marches, cultural revolutions, and world-changing events. And right in the middle of all that, the U.S. Mint struck a coin that would go down in history not just as a common nickel, but as one of the most ultra-rare treasures ever to emerge from circulation. Yes, I'm talking about the 1964 Jefferson nickel with the Denver mint mark. At first glance, it may look like any other nickel from the era. Jefferson's profile gazes steadily on the obverse, while Monticello's classical pillars rise proudly on the reverse. But here's the truth. This coin is hiding a secret that only a few sharp-eyed collectors have ever uncovered. Because among the countless millions of nickels struck in 1964, this Denver minted version, surviving in fine condition with its natural beauty intact, has become a symbol of rarity, fortune, and historic value. Now let's talk about history. The year 1964 was a turning point in American coinage. Rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to phase out silver from dimes and quarters, and public hoarding of coins was at its peak. Millions were pulling coins from circulation, stashing them away as the nation faced a coin shortage. It was during this chaotic period that the Denver Mint produced the 1964D Jefferson nickel. The composition remained the same, 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same trusted alloy used since 1938. But here's what makes this coin legendary. The massive mintage numbers should have made it common, yet the passage of time, heavy circulation, and mass hoarding destroyed the majority of coins in collectible condition. What remains today are only a tiny fraction, those that survived with a beautiful look and fine condition, untouched by decades of wear. And that's where the rarity begins to shine. Imagine this, out of hundreds of millions, only a whisper of survivors still carry their sharp details and original brilliance. Most are beaten, dull, or scratched beyond recognition. But when a 1964D appears in fine or better condition, the entire collector community takes notice. Auctions heat up, bids soar, and the prices climb like wildfire. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. This coin, the 1964 Monticello nickel with the D-Mint mark, in fine condition and boasting its beautiful look, has stunned the numismatic world by reaching an astonishing $137,500 in today's auction market. Take that in for a moment. A 5-cent piece born in an era of political and cultural transformation now stands as a 6-figure treasure. This isn't just a coin, it's a relic of history that has become a fortune in itself. And let me tell you something with absolute certainty. This value is not the peak. It is rising every single day. Collectors are chasing fewer and fewer survivors, and every time one surfaces, it fuels the fire of competition. Wait just a little longer, and this already massive value could climb even higher. Don't dismiss this as exaggeration. This is the reality of today's market. And if you're lucky enough to hold one, you are holding a treasure chest that grows richer with every tick of the clock. Now, a word for the collectors watching. If you're hunting for this legendary 1964D, condition is everything. Look for clarity in Jefferson's profile, the lines in his hair, the sharpness of his jaw, and the clean detail in Monticello's columns. Fine condition coins with their natural luster are the ones that skyrocket in value. Avoid polished or cleaned examples. They lose their originality and their worth. Instead, protect your find, and if possible, Submit it for grading to lock in its place in the market as a certified treasure. And here's the conclusion for this stunning coin. The 1964D nickel is living proof that not all treasures hide in ancient history. Some of them live in the modern age, right in your own lifetime. To most people, it's just another nickel. But to the faithful collector, it is a golden key to wealth, a story of survival, and a piece of American history worth more than gold itself. So ask yourself this: how many 1964 nickels have you passed over without a second glance? How many times have you handled a coin that could have been worth over $100,000? This is why we look, why we study, and why we treasure every coin we come across. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. You're with me here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the channel that is faithful, trustful, and committed to bringing you the most shocking, most exciting, and most truthful updates on coins that can change your destiny. Stay with me because the next coins on this list will shake you to your core. We are only climbing higher. Coin number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we've already seen the legendary 1,954, the shocking 1,994D, and the six-figure treasure of 1,964D. But now our journey takes us to one of the most mysterious and coveted nickels in modern history. A coin that carries the mark of San Francisco, a city known for minting treasures unlike any other. Yes, I'm talking about the 1970 Jefferson nickel with the S Mint mark. The year was 1970. America was in the middle of a cultural shift. The Beatles had just broken up, the Vietnam War dominated the headlines, and the U.S. Mint was quietly striking coins that would one day stun the world of numismatics. From the presses of the San Francisco Mint came millions of nickels, but only a handful survived with the rare features that elevate this coin into a class of its own. Let's dive deeper. The composition remains standard, 75% copper and 25% nickel. Jefferson, dignified and timeless, faces forward on the obverse, while Monticello stands proudly on the reverse. But here is where the magic begins. This particular 1970s nickel carries natural brown spotting across its surface. Now, to the untrained eye, those spots might look like flaws. But to the experienced collector, they are like fingerprints of history. They tell a story of time, of natural aging, of authenticity. And when a coin like this survives in fine condition with its details intact and its spots giving it a unique identity, it becomes more than a coin. It becomes a treasure, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that collectors crave. Let's talk rarity. Most 1970s nickels entered circulation and were battered, spent, and lost in the everyday chaos of pocket change. Very few survived the decades in fine condition, and even fewer survive with this distinctive spotted look that adds to their charm and rarity. It is this combination, San Francisco Mint mark, brown dots, and fine condition, that has created one of the most desirable coins in modern auctions today. Collectors go wild when one surfaces. Auction houses highlight it, bidding wars erupt, and values climb to levels that shock even seasoned investors. Why? Because scarcity drives demand, and demand drives value straight into the stratosphere. And now, the reveal you've been waiting for. This coin, the 1970s Monticello nickel with brown dots, beautiful look and fine condition, is commanding a jaw-dropping price in today's market. Hold your breath because its current market value has soared to $132,500. Yes, my friends, one small nickel worth over $132,000. Think about that. What was once just pocket change has become a life-changing treasure, a fortune condensed into a 5-cent piece. And here's the truth, its value is not slowing down. In fact, it is rising day by day. Every time one appears at auction, collectors are willing to pay more. Every time one changes hands, it sets a new record. Don't for a second believe this is fiction. I'm telling you the reality of today's auction houses. This coin is a treasure chest in your palm, growing richer every single year. Now, some tips for my collector family out there. When searching for the 1970s, examine carefully for originality. Do not mistake cleaned or altered coins for treasures. The natural brown spotting is what makes this coin unique. It is its birthmark. Protect it, preserve it, and if you are fortunate enough to own one, get it certified by a trusted grading service. That certification will lock in its status as a treasure and amplify its value in the eyes of every serious collector. And here's the conclusion. The 1970s nickel is more than just a coin. It is a testament to survival, a living proof that even modern coins can transform into priceless artifacts. To most people, it's nothing but a nickel. But to you, the faithful coin hunter, it is a ticket to wealth, a piece of America's legacy, and a treasure that grows with time. So I ask you this, how many 1,970 nickels have passed through your hands unnoticed? How many treasures have slipped away without you even realizing? This is why we study, why we collect, and why we never take any coin for granted. And remember, you are here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the most faithful, trustful channel for daily updates on the coins that can change your life forever. We don't bring you fiction, we bring you the truth. And the truth is this. The next coin on our list is even more shocking, even more valuable, and it will leave you absolutely speechless. Stay with me because the treasure hunt is far from over. Point number 5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we arrive at the grand finale. The coin that will make your heart race and your mind spin. We've traveled from the 1950s through the 1990s, uncovering treasures worth small fortunes. But what you're about to see now is perhaps the most shocking of all, because it proves that even a coin that looks simple, circulated, and even spotted can be worth a fortune beyond imagination. I'm talking about the 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, bearing rare green spots and found in circulated condition. Let's take ourselves back once more to the year 1964. The nation was alive with change. The Civil Rights Act had just been signed, the Beatles were storming America, and people everywhere were hoarding coins, afraid of the silver shortage that rocked the United States. Mint. That year, production skyrocketed, and the Philadelphia Mint struck an astonishing number of Jefferson nickels. On paper, they were common, but in reality, fate had other plans. Here's where it gets fascinating. While most nickels from 1964 were struck in such high volume that they became the workhorses of everyday commerce, very few survived the decades with their unique natural markings. And this coin, bearing its distinctive green spotting, is a phenomenon all its own. Now, let's break this down. The 1964 nickel's composition remained the familiar 75% copper and 25% nickel. Over time, environmental exposure and the natural chemistry of copper caused rare chemical reactions, leaving behind mysterious green spotting across the surface. To many, it might look like just discoloration, but to collectors, it is a fingerprint of authenticity, a natural marker that makes this particular coin a one-of-a-kind survivor. Add to this the fact that the coin is in circulated condition, meaning it has seen real life, real use, and real history. And suddenly you have a piece that carries not just metal value, but human stories. Every scratch, every mark, every green spot is a silent witness to the passage of time. But here's the real shocker. Despite being circulated, despite bearing these green spots, this exact version has become one of the most highly demanded treasures in today's auction market. And now, the truth you've been waiting for. This coin, the 1964 no mint mark Monticello nickel, green spots, circulated condition, has exploded in value to an unbelievable $136,500 in today's auctions. Think about that for a second. A coin worth just 5 cents when it left the mint, now transformed into a treasure chest worth over $136,000. That's not just value, that's history crystallized into wealth. And here's the faithful truth, this is no plateau. This coin's value is rising with every passing year. Collectors are chasing it like a dream, auctions are breaking records, and prices are climbing higher and higher. Now, let me give you some tips, my fellow collectors. If you ever come across a 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, look closely. Do not ignore circulated examples because, as you've seen, even those can hide treasures. Pay special attention to natural spotting, especially green or brown tones caused by the coin's copper content. These are not flaws, they are identity markers. Protect the coin, avoid cleaning, and if you believe you've found one, have it graded and certified. Once certified, its place in the market is sealed, and its value will continue to soar. And here's the conclusion of this masterpiece. The 1964 no mint mark nickel with green spots is proof that treasures do not always shine bright and flawless. Sometimes they are marked, aged, and worn, but their rarity and their story make them priceless. This is why we look at every coin, why we never dismiss even the most ordinary change, and why we remain faithful treasure hunters. Because today, a circulated nickel might just be a ticket to wealth beyond belief. Friends, this concludes our journey through the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Monticello nickels in today's market. We've seen coins worth fortunes, coins that look ordinary but hide treasures, and coins that prove history lives in the palm of your hand. And remember, you are watching Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, your most trusted, faithful channel, updated daily with the truth about rare coins that can change your life. These are not just stories, these are facts, backed by today's auctions and today's markets. So ask yourself, could your pocket change be worth a fortune? Could the treasure of a lifetime already be in your hands? Stay faithful, stay curious, and stay with us, because the treasure hunt never ends.